Picture this. You're standing in front of rows and rows and rows of baby food at the supermarket, and you pick up a pouch and it says wholesome, organic, no added sugar. And you think, okay, this should be a good option. The baby food industry is enormous, and they're so good at making parents like you and I think we need to buy their products. But here's the thing, your baby doesn't need a pouch with a cute little cartoon animal on it. And what if some of the most popular, best marketed baby foods out there are actually falling well short of what your baby actually needs right now? I know that introducing your baby to solids is hugely overwhelming. So today, I want to talk about babies' nutritional needs in those first months of introducing solids, what's hiding in a lot of those baby products, and what to reach for instead. I've done a lot of the research so that you don't have to. So let's get into it. The vast majority of what fills the baby food aisles is ultra processed. Not a little bit processed, I mean significantly altered from its original whole food form. And what does that mean for your baby? Well, ultra processed foods strip the contents of fiber, the natural fats, and the micronutrients. What gets added back in is fortified vitamins, added sugars, thickeners, and it's just not the same as the real deal. A US study into over 600 commercial baby food products found that 70% of those did not meet the World Health Organization's nutritional guidelines for protein. 1 in 5 of those exceeded suggested salt limits. And while this was a US study, the patterns can be fairly similar in Australia too. So the products sitting on the supermarket shelves, the ones with the smiling baby on the front, well, a big portion of those are falling short of the International Nutrition Guidelines for infants. I know we buy these products out of convenience, but babies only need really basic, simple foods. So when you can, make it at home. Things like baked or mashed sweet potato, avocado fingers rolled in hemp seeds so it's easier for them to hold on to, fingers of banana, soft cooked egg yolk. These are all whole foods that haven't been altered, and what you see is what your baby gets. Those baby food pouches have become a staple, and I get it. They're convenient, they're portable, and babies like them. But there are a couple of things worth knowing before you make them a daily habit. Firstly, the sugar. Now, a lot of it is naturally occurring by added fruit, but the concentration and consistency of sweet taste matters, especially when you're talking about a baby whose palate is still forming. They may develop a taste for the sweeter things if that's what they're used to eating regularly. Secondly, the sucking action on the spout of the pouch is very different from the oral movements that your baby develops when they're eating from a spoon or self-feeding with finger foods. Feeding specialists have raised a concern that a heavy reliance on pouches over the age of 9 months may limit the oral motor practices that a baby needs to progress onto those lumpy and chewier foods. I'm not saying never use a pouch, but using them as an occasional convenience rather than a daily habit, and transferring them to a bowl with a spoon when you can. Let's talk about those baby crackers, rusks, rice puffs. They're one of the most universally used baby foods, and they're marketed brilliantly. organic rice puffs made with real vegetables, perfect for little hands. Most of these products are made from primarily refined rice, wheat, and corn, which means they're almost entirely refined carbs. Very little protein, fats, or fiber. They dissolve quickly in your kid's mouth and they taste good to your little ones, but they just fill your baby's stomach and they're not really giving them much to work with nutritionally. Your baby's stomach is tiny and every mouthful really matters. This is the period where iron, healthy fats, and real nutrition are building their brain, their nervous system, and their immune systems. So what you fill up their tummies with genuinely matters. And if they go into a main meal and their tummy's full of, rice crackers or rusk sticks and those refined starches, they're likely to refuse their meal, the one with the iron and the fats and the real nourishment. So let's swap these puffs for something that really nourishes, like steamed or baked veggies, baby pancakes cut up into fingers, or some slow cooked soft meats. This is real finger food and it's going to help them build their chewing skills and actually nourish their developing body. I'll link my baby pancake recipe below. It's just 3 ingredients. It's so quick and easy to whip up. You can pop any leftovers in your bub's lunchbox for on-the-go snacks or even lunch. The labeling of these products can be really frustrating and confusing. No added sugar doesn't mean it's low in sugar. It means that there was no sugar that was added separately. But if the product is like 80% fruit concentrate or fruit puree, the sugar content can still be very high. It's just naturally occurring. Made with real vegetables can mean a teeny tiny amount, like 3%. There is no minimum threshold required for that claim. Organic tells you something about how the ingredients were grown, but it doesn't tell you about the level of processing or the nutritional profile of the final product. Most parents think they're doing the right thing until they flip the label over. When I started reading the actual ingredients in order of quantity, the picture looked very different from the front of packet claims. The ingredients list tells the truth. The front of packet is just marketing. That's something to remember. The shorter the ingredients list, the better. Ingredients you recognize as actual food. Whole foods should be listed first, like meat, vegetables, legumes, rather than concentrated fruit juice or refined flours. Minimal numbers, colors, and preservatives are what you should be looking for as well. I preferred homemade food options first, but I know everyone still needs those convenient meals as an option. So the good news is there are plenty of cleaner baby foods available today in the supermarkets and online. So we've talked about what to be cautious of. Now let's talk about what babies really need when introducing solids, because this is where whole foods really shine. Your baby's iron needs are at the absolute peak in this 6 to 12 month window. The best source is heme iron. That's iron from animal products. The body absorbs these more efficiently than plant-based iron. Think slow cooked meats, lamb, beef, chicken, and fish. And try pairing them with a vitamin C rich food like capsicum or berries, because this can really help boost the iron absorption. Your baby's brain is growing faster right now than at any other point in their life, and fat is the primary building block of the brain and nervous system. Think bone marrow, avocado, full fat yogurt, oily fish like salmon and egg yolk and nut butters. These are all brilliant sources of healthy fats for your baby. Babies are genuinely open to a wide range of flavors and textures in this early window, way more than they are in toddlerhood. This is the time to offer bitter foods like bitter vegetables, sour flavors like fermented foods, and a wide variety of protein and vegetables. Both of my children loved sauerkraut and kefir when they were babies, and I'm very lucky because they still do to this day. Okay, if you're going to take one thing away from this video, let it be this. The closer food is to its whole original form, the better it is for your baby. That's it. That's the whole principle. So number one, remember to flip that packet every time. The front is marketing. The ingredients list has the truth. Number two, from around 6 months on, prioritize iron-rich foods at least once a day. This is the nutrients your baby needs most right now. Number three, if you are going to offer snacks, crackers and puffs, be mindful of the timing. You've got to protect that main meal appetite, and if you can, prioritize whole food snacks instead. Number four, please don't stress about perfection. Some pouches and packet snacks are okay sometimes. That's just real life. The 80% matters more than the 20%. The goal is the majority of what your baby eats is real, whole, recognizable food. And number five, get in that kitchen. Steamed sweet potato mashed up, avocado smushed onto a spoon, soft boiled egg yolks. These foods are not complicated, but they're exactly what your baby's body is designed to thrive on. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more tips on how to help families eat well and feel great. And drop a comment below because I'd love to know what's the one swap that you're thinking about making after watching this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.